Archangel Michael says, "You open it, it's a God's choice, now watch it to the end, your life was never meant to be ordinary." The moment you drew your first breath, the sky itself marked you, sealing a fate beyond human reach. What your mother concealed was not just a secret, it was a covenant written into your very existence. The truth never rests, even when it's buried in silence. Shadows move in patterns around you, watching, waiting, and preparing for the day when silence will break. That day has come, and the storm that began at your birth is reaching its return. Nothing around you is as it seems anymore. The walls of your home breathe with memories older than you. The people you trusted have been rehearsing lies for years, shaping a reality designed to protect you from what was always meant to find you. The night carries a pulse that matches your own heartbeat. Every step you take is echoed by something unseen, tracking the path you walk without falter. And when you sleep, dreams whisper in languages older than the first spoken word. 989. The first time you noticed the shift, it was subtle, a flicker of movement across your vision, too fast to follow. You thought it was fatigue, or a trick of light. But it wasn't, it was the past, straining against the silence your mother swore to protect. Every room you enter feels thinner now, as if reality itself bends to accommodate what lingers behind you. You cannot touch it, but it touches you with a weight that lingers on your skin like heat. The secret doesn't just breathe anymore, it stares. Voices call from the corners where no one stands. They speak in fragments, names you've never heard yet recognize. And though you never answer, they know you hear them, because their echoes bend toward you like gravity. Archangel Michael says, "The veil between what you know and what waits for you is tearing." Not in silence, not in patience, but in inevitability. The force that shaped your beginning is awakening in the dark, and it remembers your name. The night outside your window breathes differently now. It isn't the wind or the trees that stir the silence, but something older, something that has waited too long in the dark. You feel it pressing in, restless, as though your presence has finally awakened what was never truly gone. Your mother knew this night would come. Every lullaby she hummed, every guarded glance when shadows crossed your path, was part of her quiet battle to keep you blind. She thought ignorance would protect you, but ignorance only delays what is written. The air thickens around you, and the unseen becomes undeniable. The temperature shifts, the light bends unnaturally, and you realize nothing in this moment is accidental. What followed you home tonight isn't a visitor. It is a herald. 495. The house is no longer your home. Each floorboard sighs under invisible weight, carrying footsteps that never belonged to you. In the hallway mirror, you catch fleeting outlines, not reflections, but memories carved into glass. The silence doesn't break. It hums instead, low and constant, crawling against your skin until you feel marked by it. You try to breathe deeply, but even the air seems claimed, as if it belongs to something else. When the whisper comes, it isn't from outside your body. It rises within, familiar yet alien, as though you were remembering a voice that has lived inside you since the moment you were born. You don't understand the words, but your body does. The ground beneath you vibrates faintly, like the earth remembering a wound. Windows shiver though the night outside is still. Something vast has stirred awake, and though it hasn't revealed itself, its attention is heavy upon you. 596. Archangel Michael says, "You were not born into safety. You were born into covenant." The force that claimed you at birth does not release what it touches, and its return will not be gentle. The shadow within your blood has never left. Every heartbeat, every choice, every unexplainable event that shaped your path has been the echo of what waited for this hour. Now it stretches forward, no longer content to wait. Your mother thought silence would bury the truth. But silence is soil, and soil only feeds what is planted within. Tonight, the seed she tried to keep hidden has reached for the surface. 283. The dreams you've carried since childhood were never dreams. They were fragments of memory, moments from before you could speak, imprints of a night your mother swore to never describe. They lingered in you because they weren't hers to silence. You see flashes now, uninvited. A night soaked in unnatural light, the air alive with sparks that never faded. A sound, like thousands of voices speaking in unison, surrounding the place where you took your first breath. The memory burns brighter, unwilling to wait any longer. You were not delivered in a hospital. You were delivered in the eye of something ancient, where the world bent open and let something pass through. You were that passage. 292. The walls tremble again, subtle yet undeniable. Pictures rattle against the frame, and you know this isn't the house shifting with the weather. It's responding to you. To what you are. Your reflection doesn't move in rhythm with you anymore. Its eyes blink slower, its mouth holds an expression you haven't made. When you turn away, it lingers just long enough for you to feel the difference. The whispers grow louder, no longer fragments but sentences. They do not plead. They announce. They speak of return, of inevitability, of a reckoning written the moment you entered the world. 2993. Archangel Michael says, "Your silence is no longer yours to keep." You stand at the edge of a war written in your birth, and the first strike has already begun. The world you believed in will fold, and what rises will know your name first. The night outside begins to split with sound. Birds scatter from trees though no predator pursues them. The sky grows pale, not with dawn, but with something breaking through where it does not belong. You realize now the truth your mother never told you was not meant to protect you from fear. It was meant to protect you from remembering what waits for you in the dark. But memory cannot be caged forever. The ceiling groans above you, as if weight has gathered where no one walks. The sound spreads across the beams, deliberate, too measured to be random. You stand frozen, realizing the house is no longer shelter, it is a chamber awakening around you. The lights flicker once, twice, before giving way to dim glow. Shadows lengthen unnaturally, stretching farther than walls allow. The corners breathe, expanding and contracting with rhythm, as though the structure itself is alive. Your pulse races. The silence outside intensifies, smothering even the natural sounds of the night. No wind, no insects, no distant traffic, nothing dares intrude. It is only you, and what has finally chosen to be near. A picture frame falls from the wall, but it doesn't shatter. The glass holds, the image inside shifts. Where once was a family photo, there is now a distorted figure, taller, broader, eyes like burning iron pressed into paper. You step back, but the figure tilts forward, as if aware of your retreat. The air grows colder, but it is not the kind of cold that chills skin. It sinks deeper, biting into bone, hollowing warmth from within. You clutch your chest instinctively, as though shielding your heart from something reaching unseen. The whispers return, layered now, no longer fragments but overlapping sentences. They do not come from one direction but from every surface around you. You cannot separate them, yet you understand their meaning without words. They claim you as theirs. 293. The memory inside you sharpens. A vision not your own, yet undeniably tied to you, bursts forward. You see the night of your birth not through your mother's eyes, but through something above her, watching, judging, deciding. The sky was torn then, as it is tearing now. She held you in her arms, terrified, but the light around her wasn't fire, it was presence. Dozens, maybe hundreds, circled in silence, their wings black against brilliance, their faces hidden but unignorable. Your cry was not ordinary. It cracked the air, carrying not fear but recognition. They looked upon you, and in that moment, the covenant was bound. You were no longer simply hers. You were theirs. You stumble back, colliding with the doorframe, desperate for escape. But the door resists. The handle will not turn, the hinges will not shift. The house isn't keeping something out. It is keeping you in. Windows shudder against pressure unseen. Curtains swell without air. Every path you think to take folds inward, denying freedom. This is no longer the place you knew. It is a threshold, a crucible. Your reflection in the window doesn't match your movements. Its eyes glow faintly, unnatural yet familiar, like recognition staring back. When it finally moves, it doesn't mimic, it gestures forward, summoning you deeper into what waits. 2934 Archangel Michael says, this is the moment silence was meant to delay. You cannot run. You cannot hide. The truth that claimed your birth has broken its chains, and it is here to collect. The hum in the air deepens into vibration, rattling objects, shaking walls, loosening dust from ceilings. It doesn't feel like an earthquake. It feels like a pulse, a heartbeat not your own, filling the house with its rhythm. You clutch your head as images flood again. Fields of fireless light. Towers of stone that do not exist in your world. A circle of figures standing around you, speaking in tongues too vast for sound, yet you know every word. They didn't choose you. They made you. Your mother's silence is the loudest sound now. Every memory of her comes back sharper, the way her eyes darted away when questions rose, the way she never explained your birthdate without hesitation, the way she avoided certain names. She wasn't hiding shame. She was hiding fear. The fear wasn't of you, but of them. Of the ones who would one day return, searching for the child they marked with fireless light. She knew this day would come, and she lived every second waiting for the sound that has finally arrived tonight. The hum sharpens into resonance, and suddenly the air splits. Not with fire, not with storm, but with brilliance. The floor cracks beneath you, faint fissures glowing with the same silver light that marked your body. They spread outward in spirals, forming symbols that mirror the ones beneath your skin. The house accepts you, not as resident, but as vessel of its purpose. You collapse in the center of the pattern, unable to resist the force pulling you downward. The symbols blaze, spinning, rearranging, creating shapes that hover above the floor. The air hums violently, so loud you feel your skull vibrating with each wave. A sudden light bursts through the cracks, not fire, not lightning, but something in between. It erupts upward, flooding the room until shadows vanish, leaving only brilliance. Your body lifts without control, suspended in the glow as though the earth has released you. The ceiling splits. Not wood, not plaster, but space itself tearing open above you. Beyond it is not sky, it is a void filled with wings, with eyes, with endless figures waiting in silence. The covenant has not called one. It has called them all. 985. Archangel Michael says, the return cannot be undone. What was claimed has awakened, and what was awakened will not rest again. You are the threshold, and thresholds do not close. The words pierce deeper than flesh. They carve into bone, into marrow, branding themselves as truth that no denial can erase. You want to resist, to scream, to fight, but the voice strips resistance away. There is no fight against law written before your existence. The brilliance around you sharpens, focusing into beams that converge at your chest. The blade within you answers, burning hot, searing veins with light. You scream, but the sound is drowned instantly in resonance. The blade is no longer hidden. It is rising. It tears through you, not with blood, but with light. A shape emerges from your body, a weapon too vast to be held by hands, yet it hovers before you, waiting. The air quakes around it, windows shattering, walls cracking, the house breaking beneath its presence. The figures above bow their heads once more, wings folding inward, their silence thick with recognition. The covenant is complete. You are no longer child, no longer vessel in waiting. You are the bearer of what was sealed the day you were born. The blade spins slowly, light dripping from its edge like liquid fire, falling without sound. Every drop burns into the floor, carving deeper symbols that glow brighter with each passing second. The house is collapsing, yet you remain untouched, held upright by force unseen. 5905. The void above roars. Not with sound, but with movement, thousands of wings beating in unison, shadows twisting against brilliance. The figures spread apart, revealing a vast horizon beyond, a battlefield suspended between realms. You see storms without clouds, towers without stone, fire without flame. The blade answers again, lifting higher, aligning itself with the horizon. You feel its weight though you do not touch it, a tether binding your soul to its purpose. The covenant has not armed you for choice. It has armed you for war. The ground splits fully now, the floor giving way to endless silver beneath. You are not falling, but being carried upward, lifted toward the void. The house shrinks below, consumed by light, erased as though it never existed. You break through the tear, entering the realm your mother feared you would find. The brilliance is everywhere, stretching into eternity, broken only by wings and eyes that never blink. Silence is total, oppressive, yet filled with meaning too vast for words. The figures form their circle again, this time infinite, spreading farther than you can see. You are at the center, the blade hovering above you, the symbols on your skin blazing brighter than ever. Every eye fixes on you, and you know there is no escape. You were born into this moment. Every step of your life, every shadow that followed you, every silence that pressed against your chest, it was all preparation. You are not here by accident. You are here because you were never meant to be anywhere else. Archangel Michael says, the covenant is fulfilled. The bridge has awakened. And now the war begins. The blade descends, embedding itself into your hands though you never reach for it. The weight is unbearable yet perfect, crushing yet rightful. Light surges through your veins, forcing your body to bend to its design. You raise the blade, not willingly, but because it demands to rise. The brilliance bends with it, the figures bow lower, the void roars louder. You scream again, but it is not fear this time. It is transformation. The horizon continues to split wider, brilliance and shadow colliding in waves that shake the void itself. The silence is gone now, replaced by thunder that has no sound, a resonance so deep it vibrates through your bones until you feel your body will shatter. Every wing beats in unison, every claw reaches forward, and you are suspended at the axis of their fury. The blade burns hotter in your grip, searing veins until your arms glow faintly with light. It pulls against you, demanding to be lifted higher, forcing your muscles to obey even as they tremble under the weight of its command. You are not holding it, it is holding you. The figures of brilliance surge forward first, wings slicing through the void, their forms stretching into endless arcs of silver. Shadow answers instantly, jagged outlines tearing forward, limbs striking like lightning without light. Where they meet, the void screams, ripping open into flashes of white and black that clash violently, neither extinguishing the other. Your vision blurs as the resonance sharpens, burning images into your mind. You see battles fought before your birth, not once, not twice, but countless times, each war ending incomplete, each covenant forged and broken in cycles. You realize now your existence was the latest attempt, the latest vessel chosen to bridge what never sealed. The faces of those before you appear in fragments, children, warriors, strangers across centuries, each marked as you are, each bound to the blade. Their voices rise within you, not in harmony but in struggle, screaming with pain, rage, and purpose. Some resisted. Some yielded. None escaped. You stumble forward, dragged by the force within you, your feet striking ground that doesn't exist. Every step echoes as though stamping law into existence. The blade rises higher, its edge blazing so bright that even the figures bow their heads as it passes. The shadow surges toward you, faster than thought, a shape wider than mountains, jagged like teeth without end. Its presence smothers, consuming light, choking even brilliance itself. Your chest tightens, as though lungs collapse under weight too vast for flesh. The blade answers before you can. It slashes forward in a blur of silver, splitting the void itself. The shadow recoils, torn apart, not destroyed but forced to retreat, fragments scattering into black sparks that vanish into distance. The strike does not feel like yours. It feels inevitable, as though time itself bent to make it happen. The brilliance roars in silent triumph, wings spreading wider, pressing forward with renewed fury. The war bends around you now, every figure drawn into orbit, every clash leaning toward your center. You are not observer. You are fulcrum. But power is never gift without cost. Your body shakes violently, every nerve screaming, every muscle searing as though torn apart from within. The blade feeds on you even as it arms you, demanding everything, refusing to allow rest. Blood drips from your nose, though it glows silver instead of red. Your skin splits faintly along your arms, light spilling out instead of flesh. You gasp, but air no longer matters. The blade does not need your survival. It only needs your presence. The covenant becomes clearer with each heartbeat. You are not savior. You are anchor. You were not chosen to end the war. You were chosen to keep it from collapsing, to bear it endlessly, to ensure the cycle repeats as it always has. The figures around you bow again, their wings lowering, their silence heavy. They do not see you as human, as victim, as fighter. They see you as threshold, as doorway, as instrument. Their reverence is not for you but for the blade burning through you. Visions tear across your mind again, your mother standing alone, holding you in arms too fragile to resist the presence that surrounded her. Her tears were not only fear. They were grief, because she knew you were never hers. She raised you against inevitability, knowing she could only borrow you for a time. You want to scream her name, to hold on to memory before it fades beneath the weight pressing down. But even memory begins to dissolve. Every image of her face grows dimmer, every sound of her voice fades, replaced by the resonance of the covenant. The war strips even love away. The shadow rises again, greater this time, towering, limbs stretching wider than vision. Its form is not fixed, shifting constantly, jagged one moment, fluid the next, as though built from chaos itself. It lunges not at the brilliance, but at you. The blade reacts instantly, swinging upward, creating a barrier of light that sears against shadow. The collision is blinding, forcing the void itself to ripple outward. The impact nearly tears you apart, your body convulses, ribs fracturing under unseen force, blood spilling in silver streams across your chest. You fall to your knees, gasping, body breaking, but the blade holds steady, locked against shadow. You realize in horror that it is not defending you. You are defending it. Archangel Michael says, "There is no rest for the vessel." The covenant is eternal, and eternity does not bend for pain. You will carry it until you break, and when you break, it will pass to another. This is the law. The words carve deeper than any wound, slicing through hope, through denial, leaving only truth. You tremble, body collapsing further, yet the blade forces you upright, dragging you back into place. The war cannot pause for your weakness. The brilliance surges again, pressing the shadow backward, forcing it to retreat in waves of shrieking black. You stagger forward with them, tethered to their advance, your every step echoing louder, brighter, heavier. You are not part of their army. You are the axis of its movement. The horizon splits again, wider, breaking into layers upon layers of brilliance and shadow. More figures pour through, endless wings, endless claws, endless voices screaming into the void. The war is infinite, stretching beyond time, consuming every moment you thought belonged to yourself. Your arms ache, the blade pulling heavier, demanding more. Your vision blurs again, but this time you see not the past, but the future. Cities crumbling under skies torn apart. Oceans rising against fireless storms. Humanity screaming beneath battles it cannot see. You realize with crushing certainty, your world will never remain untouched. The covenant does not confine itself to this void. It bleeds. It spreads. It has already begun. The blade pulses violently, dragging you into another strike. The void splits in two, brilliance and shadow torn wider apart, both recoiling from your swing. The impact shatters silence, leaving only endless resonance that drowns all thought. Your body cannot hold much longer. Bones crack beneath weight, skin tears under light, blood drains in silver rivers across the void. You scream one last time, though your voice is no longer human, carried upward into the roar of wings and claws. The war consumes itself, brilliance and shadow crashing, tearing, breaking. And you remain in the center, blade in hand, body dissolving, soul tethered to covenant that cannot die. Archangel Michael says, the war has no end. The vessel breaks, the blade remains, and silence waits for another birth. This is the cycle. This is the truth. This is forever. The light surges once more, swallowing everything, brilliance, shadow, void, even the memory of who you once were. There is no house, no mother, no life. Only the covenant, burning eternal. And then, silence returns. Not peace. Not safety. Silence heavy enough to crush. Silence that waits, patient, until the cycle begins again.